Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Warrior Cats Challenge, here in Sims 3 with all expansion packs and quite a bit of custom content. And today is a very special episode because we are actually doing a Behind-the-Paws in preparation for the end of Season 1. I do hope to end Season 1 of the Warrior Cats Challenge here at about 100 episodes, which I still cannot believe we have done that many, but we have. It's been amazing watching the story evolve over all of these days, to watch the cats evolve, how we play the game evolve. We have gone from just kind of throwing a cat down on a lot in The Sims 3 to creating this huge world with all sorts of custom rules, all sorts of random generators, and very unique cats who I truly can say are some of the most dynamic, amazing characters that I've ever had the opportunity to create or work with. And because of that, I want to make sure that we do the end of Season 1 really well. There is a few big twists, or I should say there are a few big twists that I have been sitting on top of, and so far I have not had another meteorite land from the sky and destroy all of my plans. We have several plots going on that you guys have probably noticed, some really deep ones that will continue on into Season 2, that will go on for a very, very long time, past several cats' lifetimes if things continue on the direction that they're going. There's several different forces at work in several different areas of our story, so there's not just one layer to the story. If I'm being a little bit blunt and hinty, there's probably about 5 opposing forces living and not, who are tugging at our cats and tugging at the clans and helping to push the development of the 3rd and 4th clans that we will be running into. And we will be running into the 3rd clan at the start of Season 2, provided no meteors come down at me from the skies again. So I wanted to let you guys know that we're going to be doing a few behind the scenes, or behind the paws as we call them, and we're going to be doing a few StarClan's speaks over the next few days. We will be mixing it in with the actual gameplay roleplay episodes as well, but I need a little bit of time to prepare for Season 2, and then on the flip side I want to do several StarClan speaks so that we can get to know the kits right now before things really start picking up and maybe we won't have a chance to know the kits, cough cough. And then I also want to make sure we have a chance to really answer some lingering questions you guys may have for our cats over the last season, because once things start picking up and we introduce a 3rd clan, we're going to be moving a lot faster. There's going to be more fighting. There's going to be possibly a lot more death, damage, chaos, destruction. Not personally things that I'm really eager to see, but things that I know you guys have been really eager to see. So to kind of compensate for that, I'm going to try to do a few more roleplay scenes to show just the calm daily life at the different clans, to show some of the tension that's behind some of the different clans, and we're going to start doing hopefully more regular StarClan speaks, because I think it's very important to let the characters develop that way. And I know StarClan speaks happens to be one of the more popular, really awesome aspects of the series, where you guys get to step forward and speak as the cats that you want to be represented as, and speak to our various members of the clans. So here's how it's going to work. In just a moment here, we're going to stop and visit with each of the kits of both clans to make sure we get a feeling of what those kits' personalities are like. I can tell you guys a little bit about them behind the scenes. I can tell you guys what their traits are. I can tell you guys who their parents are and things like that. Some of that you guys should already know, but we haven't really had a chance to interact with the kits, and with Season 2 coming, I just really want to make sure we have at least a moment to enjoy them while we still can, in case I can't layer the hints of damage, chaos, and destruction that possibly will be coming to us very shortly. Not like I want to bring that to our cats, but the random generators are going to be getting a lot more exciting very soon, and we will be doing a lot more behind the paw episodes to kind of really hash out what certain medical items can do, what the fight generators will be like, to make those all that information available to you guys. So expect Season 2 to come with a big bang and a few big twists. I'm really excited to reveal a few of the huge twists that I'm actually sitting on top of, as long as we don't have a meteor fall from the sky that destroys everything again. I'm like staring frantically at the sky wherein a meteor is going to fall as I'm talking about this. But I wanted to have this episode to kind of let you guys know what's coming up, and that we will kind of be slowing down mostly so we can do some more StarClan Speaks and also some Behind the Paws to prepare for the battles, because we need to sort of figure out certain things, and I want you guys to have an opportunity to get to know some of the cats better. So this is letting you know StarClan Speaks is going to happen, and I need your guys' questions. I know you have a lot of old questions, but a lot of things have happened since our last StarClan Speaks, and I feel like I need to kind of wipe the board clean and let you guys step forward and ask new questions to our cats. So in StarClan Speaks, those are special dream episodes where the cats speak to StarClan in their dreams, not in any prophecy way, but as a way where you guys can pretend to be StarClan cats. You can describe your name, you can describe what you look like, you can describe maybe your tone of voice, and then I will read that out. You guys can watch previous StarClan Speaks episodes if you kind of need to clarify what that all sounds like and what it usually turns out to be like. And you ask one of the cats of either Moss Clan or Branch Clan a question. Now, cats who are either currently missing and or dead cannot be spoken to at the moment, unless you want to count Otterslip's kits. I will allow Otterslip's first two kits, her and Quail Eye's first kits. You can speak to them if you so wish to, because they've been in StarClan for a long time now. And then we are also going to make it so that you can speak to pretty much all of the cats except for Bear Glow and Misty Pond. For some reason, StarClan either isn't aware of or can't talk to Bear Glow and Misty Pond, and that's kind of a bit of a mystery. But you're welcome to ask questions of pretty much any kind to any of the cats who are currently in the clans, not the ones who are missing and not the ones who are presumed dead or dead, except for Otterslip and Quail Eye's kits. So please go ahead, answer in the comments with like what cat persona you would like if you have one, and then what questions you would ask the cats. Primarily, I want the next StarClan Speaks to focus on the kits that we currently have, and so I'm going to mostly be going through the next episode looking for kit questions and answering as many of them as possible. And like I said, we probably will be alternating with a lot more StarClan Speaks over the next few episodes, as well as Behind the Paws, because things are going to move really fast, and it's been an amazing season 1, and I really want to make sure we understand the motivations of certain characters. We know what they're like. We know some of the little daily snippets, like the way that the Kits and Branch Clan have collections of fishtails and fish bones and fish scales especially, and whoever has the most fancy fish scales is like the coolest kit in the nursery, and they really like to trade those things, and they like to hide those things, and Dawnstep really likes to throw all those things back into the ocean to clean the nursery den. So those kinds of behind the scene daily activities to the cat's life will be shown more in the StarClan Speaks episodes, as well as some of the deeper questions, like why does Branch Star still not train Moonpaw? What does Moonpaw think about this whole situation? Can StarClan even speak to Moonpaw? It might really depend on what kind of questions you guys ask her. So we'll be doing more StarClan Speaks. We'll be doing more Behind the Paws. I'll be showing you guys some of the frequently asked questions that I have, like where do I get the medical chest that I use in the dens, and I'll show you guys some of my favorite downloads. I'll show you guys how to use NRAS to adjust the skill level on cats and so forth. And so we'll be diving into some of that. So just be aware the story is going to be continuing, but this is that Behind the Paws sort of part of it where your guys' questions and your guys' contributions really create this world. This is a very difficult series to create. It takes me hours to write every episode and to record it, but it is totally worth it because you guys have responded with fan art and fan fiction and role plays and comments and kindness and support that brings tears to my eyes and has humbled me and made me realize that this is one of the most fantastic creations I've ever had the opportunity to make in my entire life, and I intend to bring you guys more of it. So I apologize that we won't have the regular episodes too often. They'll still be here, but I'm going to be kind of interspersing them, like I said, StarClan Speaks and Behind the Paws, just until we break into Season 2. I just want to do justice to the characters we have before things really start getting chaotic. So without further ado, let's pop over to Branch Clan and look at all of the current kits so we can really get a good glance at what they look like and who they are. So if you guys want to pick one to ask questions to, go forward, step into the comments, ask your question for the kit, and then we'll go through and start doing a lot of StarClan Speaks from there. And remember, please ask StarClan Speaks questions either in this episode or in the StarClan Speaks episodes, and not the regular episodes, because the regular episodes often get like 800 comments and I just cannot find your question again once it goes in there. So keep your questions tidy in those spots and I'll be able to see them, and upvote questions and comment on questions that you're really curious about, because things that I see are super popular questions I'm I'm happy to answer as long as it doesn't break open any plot secrets that I have. So let's go check on the kits. And we will start with Branch Clan first because they are absolutely crawling in kits. Just look how many kits we have going by. There's Glow Kit running in the background. And right over here we have Sand Kit. And you guys were totally right. I totally did Sand Kit in Injustice and said that Sand Kit was a little boy, but Sand Kit is actually a little girl. You can see her markings over here. Very, very muddled markings. It's very difficult to kind of make heads or tails of what her colors could properly be. But she has a black face. She has Dawn Step's bright orange colorings as the predominant color to her body, and she has a lot of this brown fur that, who knows, maybe Branch Star happened to have some brown fur in his recessive genetics, who knows, But she's got a lot of that all over her, and she's actually getting very, very close to becoming an apprentice. So Sand Kit is about to age up, so she's very close to that. I've actually had to slow down how quickly the cats age because they're going a little bit too quickly for the story, so I've adjusted that manually. And then Sand Kit is a hunter, and she's a bit clueless, and so the hunter aspect comes into possibly a desire to become a warrior, and the clueless aspect comes into how often Sand Kit will often crawl into the tunnel systems and manage to get herself wedged in there. So Dawn Step is often fetching her child out from the tunnel systems and making sure that Sand Kit isn't stuck in there too much, and Sand Kit is growing into a very healthy kit who will probably turn into a great warrior when she's an apprentice. But we'll learn a lot more about her in any StarClan Speak episodes you guys might have. But I just realized we haven't really gone through kit by kit and looked at them, looked at their features, especially those of you who draw fan art, and been able to really kind of get up close with them and realize who they are. And since I really want to ask the kits questions in the next episode of StarClan Speaks, I wanted to stop by and visit all of them. Shell Kit is the little boy. He is a hyper hunter. He actually seems to spend a lot of his time playing with the other kits, particularly Minnow Kit, who is often seen in the middle of all sorts of the other kits. Minnow Kit is really kind of she is for sure the smallest kit in the clan, but she's also very popular. I hesitate to say popular. She just always seems to be surrounded by all the other kits, and they listen to what she has to say, and she has the quietest little voice and the smallest little body, but somehow just is very, I guess she is popular among all of the other cats, so we'll remember that. And then Shell Kit over here has the smushed face that Dawn Step does, and has received a little bit of teasing from Wildpaw as a result, because Wildpaw has a lot to say about smush-faced cats and teasing them, even though her brother Stonepaw had a smush face as well. And you can see the same sort of really muddled markings. It's very difficult to make heads or tails over anything with the Shell and Sand Kit's markings. So yeah, it's very hard to tell what's going on them. They're very muddled, mixed together. It's really, other than Dawn Step's bright orange back coloring, you can't really tell anything about them. They're just very uniquely marked, but also they look like you just sort of rolled them around in the dirt and the sand for a little while and didn't clean them off, which I imagine means they get cleaned a lot from Dawn Step, because she does try to be a good queen, even if they're not particularly in the mood for it. And yeah, Hyper and Hunter, and we'll have a lot of his personality start emerging in the future, and I will be rolling more firm personality traits than just what the game offers to us, and kind of trying to portray them for each kit that we have. Like I mentioned in the past, I did roll a random generator, and when we moved, I actually lost my notes for what the kind of traits they had. So I'm going to try to find a better personality random generator. And these kits are old enough, I sort of have a sense of their personality, but all future kits who are born, I will roll that generator immediately and try to give them more developed personalities from the get-go, especially because we'll have more StarClan Speak, so you can talk to new kits right off the bat and figure out what they really like about their clan, what they want to become, and then you can ask them more questions as they get older right before they become an apprentice. And we might start even making that kind of a regular thing where before cats become warriors or apprentices, we might do a StarClan Speaks focusing on that cat, especially because we probably will be seeing more frequent deaths and we'll be seeing more frequent battles as time goes on with more clans. And then of course we have special little Glow Kit. So Glow Kit is quite the special little one because he does have seizures pretty frequently. He's non-destructive and a genius. He's a little boy, and he is Quail-Eye and Otterslip's child. So he's got some special markings on his face, a lot of white markings, very vivid brown markings on his forehead as well. He's kind of got, I think that's actually Otterslip's gray eyes. I'm not sure if that's quail eyes or Otterslip's gray eyes, but gray eyes. I really like his markings. It's very similar to Shell and Sandkit for some reason, and sort of their muddled look, but he does have much cleaner face markings. He's got a nice little long tail. I wonder if the cats would ever lose their tail. Probably. We'll be adding that to the random generators. We'll talk about that more. Oh, look, there's a bird over there. We'll talk about that more in future Behind the Paw episodes too, because I will get to the point. Oh, look, and he has a tiny little black paw on the back. I've never seen that before. But we will get to the point where we will be sharing our random generators and sharing all the information so I can explain how this happens in our series and how you can make your own gameplay a lot more dynamic too, because it's really fun to use random generators, your own imagination, and a big pile of things that you have written down as possible things that could happen in your clan to affect what goes on in the story every day. It's really quite amazing how fantastic a story you can create just with those few little tools. So we'll be going into that more. As you can see, there's a lot of white markings on Glow Kit, and he is non-destructive and a genius, and he's a very humble kit as well. He is a little bit scared when he has his attacks, and so he tries to listen to whatever Otterslip tells him to do. He doesn't play by the tide pools. He doesn't mess around in the tunnels the way that the other kits will do because he's been told not to. And he doesn't want to die, really. He doesn't want to suffer. He doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to run into any of those things. So he tries to be a good kit and listen to everything he's told. And he's hoping that being a good kit will be able to keep him from too much danger, even though he understands that nobody really understands what's going on with his condition. And he does appreciate the way that, remember, Branch Star even came to visit him last time during his last attack. All of the cats seem very curious and worried about him. They check on him pretty often, and they don't reject him despite his condition. Especially Quail-Eye didn't reject him, which was a big relief because I was quite worried that Quail-Eye would reject his son being afflicted with the seizure condition, but he did not. So that is really a relief. And then here we have his sister, Coral Kit. So Coral Kit over here is skittish and quiet. She's a little bit all over the place. She tends to chase Misty Pond's tail for some reason. Let's see. She's got smish face. So she does have smish face, but you can see she's also got very interesting eyes. I'm not sure which one of her parents she got those eyes from, and she has kind of these interesting tabby markings. She's a little bit skittish to the extreme. She kind of jumps all over the place. She chases things. She's one of the kits who kind of is, you know, the spazzy kittens that you see who one second they're playing and just fine, and the next second they jump up into the air like 3 feet in the air and they dash around in a little circle. So she's definitely got a lot of energy, and what she decides to do with that energy in the future remains to be seen. And her mood sort of fluctuates all over the place too. So she's still a very young kit, and hopefully the StarClan Speaks questions will help to define her personality a little bit more, and you guys will learn more about her. But her markings are actually very beautiful if you look closely. You can see almost like a classic tabby brown marking overlaid with a lot of the silver and the dusty sort of light browns that really come a lot from Otterslip too. So I really do like her markings. They're very interesting, and she also has that black little back foot. So very cool markings on her. Coral Kit, very skittish, still very young too. Coral Kit and Glow Kit are quite a bit younger than Sand and Shell Kit, but not too terribly younger, probably about maybe 1.5 moons, 2 moons most. So they are a bit younger, about 2 moons older than Coral Kit and little Glow Kit. And then of course we have the youngest members of the clan who were actually born just a little bit after Coral and Glow, and that includes Minnow Kit, who's non-destructive and proud. She already shows some leadership qualities despite being such a small kit, and she is, as so many of you guys are always saying, one of the most beautiful kits in the clans. She has got just the amazing markings, this beautiful blue body, the white tips to her paws, the white muzzle, the beautiful little black tips to her ears, and then the very unique dusty sort of pattern down her side and across her tail. I really love her markings. I think she is one of the most beautiful cats we've ever had. It's all the way around to the other side of her body. I can't wait to see what she looks like as an apprentice. I can't wait to see what she looks like as an adult. I can't wait to see if she ever has the chance. I'm crossing my fingers against the horrors of the random generators. If she ever has a chance to have kits, then I would love to see what her kits look like. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. And I would actually, once I get my Symbler started, maybe even something to explain the Warrior Cats Challenge, and, you know, get the Wikia, which there is an unofficial Wikia that's amazing, by the way, that you guys can check out. But once we get all of those things things set up, I would love to provide her as a downloadable cat so you could add her into your worlds if you so wished. So that would be really fun too. So that's Minnow Kit. She's very quiet. She has a soft little voice, but she has a lot of personality. She's very intelligent. She is a little bit proud, and she tends to be somehow the center of attention in the crowd of kits. In the crowded nursery, somehow Minnow Kit will be sitting in the center of all of it, and all the other kits will listen to what she has to say. So why that is, we'll have to see how her personality develops, but she definitely has that trait so far. And she also is very generous. She has a lot of leadership traits. She knows how to give a kit an extra scale so that she can maybe get a prettier one down the road. Not to manipulate, but just she kind of sees how you can interact with different kits, and you can interact with different cats and do different things with them to produce different results. So she's very observant of leadership sort of things that way, and we'll have to see where that takes her. She is quite the intelligent little one. And then we have her rambunctious brother, Wave Kit, who is non-destructive and neat. And he also has a smoosh face, so he does get teased a little bit for it, but he's also got quite the kind of like the wham bam personality. He will take on anybody he feels like. He likes to dive into the waves. He really likes to dive into the tide pools especially, and he likes to splash around in them, try to drag out starfish that refuse to come out and just cling harder to their rock no matter how much he tugs at them, because he's still just a little guy. So he looks a lot like his sister, but he's much bigger. He has a lot more fur, and he has a much tougher, rougher personality that's inclined to kind of barrel headfirst into another kit. He is the one who would just tuck his head down and headbutt all the other kits while they're playing in the nursery. So he's got quite a warrior sort of personality, and he actually has stripes over his back instead of the splotches the way that his sister does too. So you can see he's got little stripes over his tail too, and then he's got splotches up across his side on the right side. So very interesting kit. I love his headbutting too. And then we have Frog Kit, who's right over here, and Frog Kit also has some of these amazing mysterious markings. I swear I had no idea that Crowfeather and Sea Whisperer would have such beautiful kits, and I still think it's very exciting that the only litter of kits that I've never actively tried to have, the cats actually woohooed behind my back and tried for kits behind my back. So when it popped up on my screen, shocked me just as much as the rest of you guys. really surprised me. So that was quite fun. But we do have some fun markings. He looks like a tuxedo cat kind of in the front, and then you get to the back and it's like he's sat in something, and he's got even brown fur, which neither of his siblings have, spread across his back leg. He's got kind of that muddled mix with little stripes going down his tail. Just really fun little markings. Frog Kit's markings are just so fun because he looks so much like two mixed up cats. He has the normal look of a tuxedo cat other than the right paw being black on the front, and then he's just a total mess in the back. So he's really fun. He is very vocal. He's a little bit smaller than Wave Kit, and because he's one of the youngest kits, that means that even though he wants to be a bit tough, he's pushed around by all of the other kits, even the older female kits, especially actually Shell Kit. I think that he would be kind of battered about a bit by like Coral Kit and Shell Kit, just a bit, because they're much bigger than him at this point. And he is very feisty. Frog Kit is kind of the one that you're always going to find in the muddy situation. He's the one who kind of just manages to stick his paws in things without meaning to. I wouldn't say it's bad luck, but it's definitely kind of a mixture of his own mischievous personality and just his habit. He's one of those kits that's always going to be kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time without really meaning to be. And so I'm really hoping that trait won't act against him as time goes on. He definitely is going to be one of those kits that could end up on a lot of inadvertent adventures without meaning to, totally just doing his own thing, and next thing you know, maybe he'll be picked up by a two-leg and taken home as a kitty pet and have to escape. He's got that kind of personality, and that's not anything I have planned for him, just I could see that happening for him because he's got that kind of personality. He's very playful though. He can often come off as extremely rude and argumentative, but that's just because he's trying to stand out and kind of fight his own way in the nursery surrounded by so many other kits. But he's very friendly, so once he knows his voice is being heard and once he knows that his opinion is being listened to, then he will be friendly and share the extra skills. And he doesn't actually ever draw his claws. He's just very loud. He'll very loudly tell you his opinion about a situation and why he thinks he should be listened to. So that's Frog Kit. Kit. And he does like frogs just like his dad, but he's definitely still a kit of the sea, a kit of the ocean too. So that is all of the kits of Branch Clan. I wanted to formally introduce you guys to them because often we don't really have a chance to sit down and hang out with them the way I wish we could. So we're going to pop over and double check on Bumble and Bee Kit now, just to remind everybody what they're like over with Honeywish and her kits. And then we're going to have to leave it up to your guys' paws to be able to supply the questions for our kits, and maybe even some ideas, if you happen to have them, of things that could potentially happen to our kits. It doesn't have to be anything specific, could just be general ideas. Seagulls, sharks, tide pools, maybe some more positive things now that I just listed off 3 things that could potentially kill our kits. And I would love to hear more ideas of things that could happen to them, and I'll explain how I use those things in my random generator in the future. But for now, let's jump over to Mossclan and visit with the 2 kits instead of the how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go visit with Mossclan's 2 kits to compare against the 7 kits from Branch Clan. And then we have Mossclan, where we currently have, oh my gosh, look at that! Where we currently have a very small little nursery of kits. There's only these 2 right now, which I think is pretty amazing. Are you practicing leaps that Squirreleap has taught you? Is that what you're doing over there? So it's very surreal to go from Branch Clan and all of their kits and their growth and come over here and find ourselves just with little Bee Kit and Bumble Kit, who are also both little boys. So far, poor Robin Paw has been the only one who has managed to be a girl born in our clan. All of the rest have been boys in Mossclan, so things are going to get very interesting if we don't change up that dynamic pretty soon. But you can see them playing. Oh my gosh, they're so cute! You can see them playing, and they're often watched over by a lot of the other cats. Oh gosh, look at the toughness. He's like gonna get him. He's gonna get him. Oh my goodness, there you guys go. There you go. They're very cute. They're very cute. So this is Bumble and Bee, and I'll point out which one is which in just a second. You can see they definitely have very interesting mixes of their father Silverfang and their mother Honeywish. I really think that they're another one, probably my second favorite litter of kits in terms of coloring, because of how fascinating the mixture has been between these 2. Oh, they're gonna run around. They're gonna goof off and run around. Little Bee Kit is the one with the thinner fur, longer tail, longer snout, and they both have, I think, almost identical markings too, but their body structure is quite different. So Bee Kit happens to have the black, oh look at that. Bee Kit has the little black markings around the face and one golden eye and one dark black eye. And then you can see the little playful, oh gosh, she's so playful. They're so cute. They're so cute. Ah, sorry, the camera won't go near the water. And same difference on Bumble Kit over here. So Bumble Kit is a little bit stouter, not as long as Bee Kit, and has the same pattern fur on both sides, I believe. I think they're pretty much identical. Yeah, they even have the same color eyes in the same places, but their body structure is very different. So I could see them ending up looking extremely different as they age up, and as their fur comes in with like different textures, different colors. Oh my gosh, they're so cute though. I really love them. But they're very, very young. So they are the only kits in Mossclan though. So that means Mossclan has a lot more ability to devote all of their energy into taking care of these 2. But at the same time, Mossclan's really running out of females. So it may be interesting to ask a few questions to the Mossclan cats about that situation. But little Bee Kit over here is playful and proud and has a lot to say. Bee Kit tends to be the one who's a bit more vocal, but Bee Kit and Bumble Kit are always in the thick of it together. They're definitely a team. They definitely want to be together. They definitely, if Bee Kit is making a lot of noise because they want to have like an extra lick of honey, or if they did inherit their mother's love of honey, by the way. And if Bee Kit is making a lot of noise because they want some prey, it's because he's going to share everything he has with Bumble Kit. There's not a lot of competition between the 2. They've never really thought about the idea of being competitive with one another. They're going to share everything. And then Bumble Kit is the one who tends to be very playful and friendly. He's much more laid back than his brother. He doesn't really go out of his way to make a lot of a fuss, but he's just super, super friendly. The really, really sweet sweetheart that will just come up to you, kind of like a bit of Silverfang's personality of being just really, really extremely kind. And that is Bumble Kit. So Bee Kit kind of gets things done, a little bit like Honeywish, to be honest, now that I think about it. And Bumble Kit is extremely quiet. Bumble Kit is extremely laid back. Bumble Kit is very, 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 very playful, or I should say friendly, and has that very subtle playfulness where he just always tends to assume the the best out of everybody. So that's Bumblecit right there. They are both little boys. Ignore the age fluctuation. That just happens sometimes. We usually always go with the younger kit's age just to try to make things more accurate. Though sometimes that can be a little tricky. Don't worry about those details. But those are the only two kits that you guys can ask questions for StarClan Speaks To and Mossclan, because they're the only two that we happen to have. And everybody was like, no, Mossleaf can't have any more kits because she already had 2 litters. If you guys think she should have more litters, then let me know. If you guys think we should shake up the dynamic, let me know. Trust me, the random generators always have the capability of potentially adding in new cats to both clans. And we'll definitely be seeing what happens with season 2. But thank you guys for putting up with this patient behind the scenes, behind the paws episode. I really just wanted to refocus questions onto the cats, the kits in particular, for the StarClan Speaks episode, and let you guys know we're going to be interspersing some of the behind the paws with the regular episodes with a few light roleplay or deep roleplay. Misty Pond, thank you very much for that. Oh my goodness. More deep roleplay episodes and the StarClan Speaks, because I want you guys to have a chance to kind of get to know all of our current characters before we throw some really huge curveballs at them for the end of season 1. So thank you guys so much. You've made all of this into what it has become. You've made all of this into the joy of what it is. And it does take hours and hours and hours and hours of hard work to make these episodes every time. And it's been a bit of a push to make them every other day for September. So being able to have a little bit more time to prepare for a proper entrance into season 2 is why we're going to be mixing it in with some behind the paws. Also to answer a ton of questions you guys have been asking me about how I set things up, and to answer a few of my own questions over how we should set things up, and then quite a few StarClan Speaks, because I realized once those generators start rolling pretty hard on the fight scenes and on if there may be death and destruction even among our little ones, then we could lose them for good, and then we'll have new cats and we'll move on, and then that cat will just be a footnote. And if that happens, I don't want to lose the opportunity to at least get to know who they were for the brief moment they may be with us. Not to sound too dramatic, just that's the trade-off, because we have so many people who want to see more drama happen, and I understand that, but I also want to try to soften that blow by being able to share more of what the cats are like right now before we start throwing even bigger things at them. And I just cross my fingers that it won't be another meteor. So thank you guys so much, and then feel free to ask your questions down in the comments below, and I will share some StarClan Speaks and some further adventures of our cats in both clans, all 3 clans, once that one starts to be shown and revealed, coming up next time. And thank you so much, because this is not heavily planned out behind the scenes. You guys know that by now. It goes from episode to episode, and I just cross my fingers that I won't lose what few plans I do hopefully have surviving through all of it. And I'm really impressed with the kind of cohesive story we've somehow managed to weave from what truly is just a constant linking of random generators from an episode to episode basis. So we'll have to see what happens, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.